Have you ever looked out at the birds in your backyard and assumed they were perfectly healthy? What if some of them were fighting a serious illness right in front of your eyes and you never noticed? According to wildlife experts, many sick birds continue feeding, flying, and interacting normally during the early stages of disease. By the time obvious symptoms appear, it may already be too late. Today, we're uncovering 5 silent signs that your backyard birds could be hiding illness and why these subtle clues matter more than most people realize. Imagine a small songbird arriving at your feeder every morning. It looks normal from a distance. It eats, it hops, it flies away. But wildlife rehabilitators often describe birds as masters of disguise. In the wild, showing weakness can attract predators, so many species instinctively hide signs of sickness for as long as possible. That survival strategy can make illness surprisingly difficult for humans to detect.
The first silent sign is unusual puffed-up feathers. During cold weather, birds naturally fluff their feathers to stay warm. But when temperatures are mild and a bird remains constantly puffed up, experts say it may be conserving energy because its body is struggling. Wildlife centers frequently report this as one of the earliest warning signs they observe in sick birds. The second sign is reduced alertness. Healthy birds are constantly scanning their surroundings. They react quickly to movement and potential danger. A bird that seems unusually calm, slow to respond, or indifferent to nearby activity may be experiencing weakness caused by disease, parasites, or infection. Researchers studying wild bird populations have noted that reduced vigilance often appears before more visible symptoms emerge. Next comes a change many people overlook entirely: altered feeding behavior. Birds suffering from illness may spend longer periods at feeders, appear clumsy while eating, or suddenly lose interest in food altogether. In several documented outbreaks of bird diseases, observers noticed feeding abnormalities days before mortality rates increased in local populations. The fourth sign is breathing difficulty. This can be extremely subtle. Watch closely, and you may notice a bird breathing with its beak open, making slight wheezing sounds, or showing visible chest movement while resting. Wildlife veterinarians warn that respiratory infections can spread rapidly among birds that gather around feeders and water sources, making early recognition especially important.
Finally, there's isolation. Birds are social creatures, often feeding, roosting, or traveling with others. When a bird consistently separates itself from the flock, remains alone for extended periods, or avoids normal interactions, it may be struggling with an illness that has reduced its strength. Wildlife rescuers frequently identify isolation as a key behavioral clue that something is wrong. One real-world example came during outbreaks of eye disease among finches in North America. Birdwatchers initially noticed subtle behavioral changes and mild swelling around the eyes. Many assumed the birds were simply tired or injured. But those small observations eventually helped scientists track the spread of a disease affecting thousands of wild birds. It was a reminder that ordinary people watching their backyard feeders can sometimes become the first line of defense for local wildlife. The truth is that most sick birds don't announce their condition. They hide it. They continue their daily routines. They do everything they can to appear normal. Yet their bodies often leave behind tiny clues for those willing to pay attention. So the next time you watch birds in your backyard, don't just admire their colors or listen to their songs. Observe their behavior. Notice the details. Because those quiet moments of attention could help you recognize a problem before it becomes a tragedy. Not just for one bird, but for an entire local population. Nature is constantly speaking. The question is, are we paying close enough attention to hear what it's trying to tell us?